Assalamu alaikum. I'm your host, Elway Seam Ventura Bay. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Team Seam. And yes, this is for the programming community. And yes, it's the Fibonacci sequence. So if you're a novice or if you're new to the art of programming, I recommend this video to you. But either way, first and foremost, well, either way, let's start it. But either way, here's the Fibonacci sequence. 0, 1, you add the first two numbers together. The first two numbers together, and there's someone, and you basically go on to the next, essentially. 1 plus 1, 2. So 1 plus 2, 3. 2 plus 3, 5. 5 plus 8, 13. 13 plus 21, 34. So on and so forth. That's basically the entire concept of the Fibonacci sequence. Now, as you see, it forces basically the developer to think abstractly, because this is like for someone that's not accustomed to thinking abstractly. My apologies. Abstractly. I don't know why I said it. Either way, the purpose of this programming exercise is to unlock the mind of the basically programmer, and that's why most schools will force students to basically learn said sequence. But either way, here's my class. Public class, melodic pimping, and I'm using Eclipse and I'm programming in Java. So hey, if you want to use a great IDE, look no further than Eclipse. Okay, public class, melodic pimping. Why? Well, every program starts with the class. Why? Because classes are blueprints of objects, and so on and so forth. But here's my main method. Public static void main. And then my method is called towards the end. I also have a scanner object which is named it, and it scans right here. It just scans when it's called upon. And I have a system.out.print statement, basically like a print line statement, which asks the user for a positive int, and I have a data type int, and I named it input, and it will store my user's input. Hopefully it's an integer, because this next int will only accept integers. So but it's a different video, and it's, as you see, it dot next int. Separate video. Either way, here's my method, Fibonacci, and it passes my input from the user. And let's get to the method. Here's my method declaration. Fibonacci, as you see, private static void Fibonacci, and x is the parameter, so it only accepts an int as a data type. And for the time being, the variable will be x inside my method. So here's my local variables: current, next, and sum. Okay. Current is initialized to 0. Next is initialized to 1. Why? Every Fibonacci sequence starts with 0 and 1. Yes, indeed. So now, let's get to sum. It does not, one does not have to initialize sum, to be honest. It's optional if you want to initialize it, but it's great to have a third variable. It's basically mandatory for this algorithm. Now, if x is less than or equal to 0, as you see, I have an if else statement, which forces which basically I kind of only want in a positive integer. But either way, here's the else. Here's the print statement, Fibonacci sequence. And as you see, I'm showing a version of the Fibonacci sequence using iteration. Iteratively. But either way, this is my for loop, and I equals 0. I is less than x, and I plus plus. So I is increased as long as I is less than x. That's all it is to the for loop. And system.out.print current. It prints current, and it leaves a space. So yes, here is basically the meat of the algorithm. It's all inside of this for loop. Why? Because current is 0 at the moment. Next is 1. So as the first statement, current sum equals current plus next. 0 plus 1 equals 1. So now the sum equals 1, which is right here. And I'm basically trying to like show a way to basically think abstractly, essentially, of how someone would program this Fibonacci sequence. So yes, as you see, 0 is current, 1 is next. So 0 plus 1 equals 1, and that's a sum. So the next time around, current prints, and which was previously next, and next will basically be next will essentially initialize the sum. So yeah, it's just it's just a cycle, and it's very important to think abstractly. And if you have to write everything down, write it down. Now some people are capable of just basically just envisioning everything, just envisioning this entire sequence in their mind, but most people like they write it down. So it's up to you. But yes, it's essentially what's going on with the Fibonacci sequence. Here's current, here's next. So the first implementation of this for loop, I equals 0. So either way, I is not really used at all. It just ensures that the for loop runs X amount of times. So it's up to the user how many times this for loop runs, and it's not, but it's not going to change anything because it's basically printing current every single time. And that's the best part about this algorithm for the Fibonacci sequence. So is next will eventually store sum, and current will eventually store next. But current is what is basically the only thing that prints each time around. And current will eventually store next. Next will eventually store sum. It's just a cycle. So, and as we're well aware, numbers are infinite. They never end. So yes, it depends on how many times one desires. But basically, how many numbers of the Fibonacci sequence do you want? Do you want the first 5? Do you want the first 20? Like, I can go first 20 on. The first 20 if need be. But here's an example. 20 on. Yeah, so man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes. 20. The first 20 numbers of the Fibonacci sequence right there. So man, that's why this is a great exercise for anyone that's trying to learn how to program in any object-oriented language. So let's see if I want the first 3. 0, 1, 1. So hey, but either way, thank you for tuning in to this video. Please make a wave in my comment section if you have any question or if you have anything to say. But either way, hey, if you have any special requests, hey, make a wave in my comment section. But either way, thank you for tuning in to this video. I'm your host, always Ventura Bay, and yes, assalamu alaikum, salam abu.